What's up, everybody? It's your boy Melvin for another classic review, and today I'm reviewing another episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? This time from Season 3, the episode The Tale of the Midnight Ride. First episode of Season 3, and this is actually between Season 2's last episode, Tale of Old Man Kokorian, and the next one, The Tale of Apartment 214. And this is a parody, similar to The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, but you'll see why. But before we begin, have you subscribed? Did you hit the bell? If so, who's next to tell the story for the Midnight Society? Step up. Don't be afraid. Unless you're afraid of the dark, that is. So let's begin, shall we? So, The Tale of the Midnight Ride, and this is a parody of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which I like, actually, because it's actually pretty cool to see but you'll see why. So we start with the beginning, where we meet Gary, who is the head of the Midnight Society, informing them that two of their friends and members, Dave and Christian, if you don't remember her, she was the one who told the tale of the prom queen back in Season 1, and David in another episode. They both left because both of their families have moved away, so they won't be hearing any of their stories anymore. But, of course, they'll be always part of the Midnight Society, so that's when Gary offered 2 spots for any new members to join the society. Of course, Betty Ann has one named Sam, wants to join, but she has to work because needs to work on the story. Which case, Gary says, no problem, there's no rush. That's when Gary wants to sponsor somebody, which all of them don't know who it is. When he brings him up, that's when Kiki says, is he kind of small? Which, of course, he wraps the sack over his head, and guess who it is? Tucker. Gary's little bro, what you call him? I'll show you small. In a bratty way, which everybody gets pissed off and saying, oh, come on, not your little brother. And that was Frank who said that. I think he hates Tucker that badly. Of course, Frank explains if he doesn't bring him, he's no longer allowed to join the Midnight Society, which is kind of BS, but hey. Those are the rules for Mama Bear, so yeah. Of course. Oh boy, I'm way off, am I? But yeah, like I was saying, hold up. I was saying, oh boy. Okay, there we go. The hell? So yeah, of course, Gary tells Tucker to prep a story, of course. He gets him ready. That's when Gary tells him the story has to be good, or he's gonna allow Frank to beat him up. No kidding. And he said it better be a good one, or Frank's gonna pound him. Of course, Tucker starts the storytelling. Sorry, got a headache. Explains that people make up their own ghost stories all the time. However, there are some ghost stories that have been around so long that it makes you wonder, just maybe, it might not be made up. His story is the famous ghost and a legend so popular it just won't die. When Tucker says, by the approval of the Midnight Society, I call the story The Tale of the Midnight Ride. Which, of course, Tucker begins with the story of the flashback during the American Revolution, which is actually the famous Headless Horseman. It's kind of funny, they just call him a soldier guy who lost his head from a cannonball, instead of being called a Hessian, who was actually a mercenary soldier. Got shot from a American cannon. But yeah, so he tells a story about the Headless Horseman, of course, the famed Ghost of Sleepy Hollow. That's what we look That's searching for a victim to still get a new head. Of course, on one Halloween night, the schoolmaster, Ichabod Crane, took a run, turned the woods, got chased by the horsemen. He rode towards the bridge. They actually call this the Bridge of Souls. I'm not joking. We usually know it as the white cover bridge that crossed the church. But here, it's just called the Bridge of Souls. That's just weird. But interesting, though. Of course, the horseman doesn't cross. But fortunately, the horseman... It's kind of weird that... Actually, Ichabod never made it in time and the horseman got him. And Ichabod Crane was never seen again. Of course, the legend... It became a legend every Halloween night, and the Ghost of the Hell's Horseman and Ichabod Crane returns to Sleepy Hollow to ride again. Now we turn to modern times when at high school in Sleepy Hollow. Interesting, Sleepy Hollow High. There we meet a young man named Ian Matthews, who's a new guy around here. Excuse me. He recently moved to Sleepy Hollow, and he's trying to make friends or fit in. Of course, he did something. He tried a little too hard. A pretty young girl is seen walking up the school carrying a box of Halloween decorations. And unexpectedly, named Katie, where Ichabod was helping her. Then, of course, her jealous possessive ex-boyfriend named Brad, a jock. Ugh, those guys are scumbags, I tell you what. Brad. That's the new term for today's term. Brad or Becky. But yeah, continuing. Of course, he tries to defend, but Katie tells him we're through, so get over it. Of course, Matthew gave him a pumpkin, which it was fallen. Which kind of ticks off Brad. Soon, in the gymnasium, while Matthew was helping Katie with the decorations, he's on a ladder. That's when Brad does something stupid. Then his friend remarks about him. Okay, here's something. But, of course, Ian goes over to politely help. Of course, this makes Bradley pissed off. Matthew. Okay, Ian or Matthew? I don't know. Matthew, Ian, I don't know. That's kind of confusing, isn't it? Oops. But yeah. While helping with the decorations, Brad just does a stupid move. While Matthew was helping with the decoration, Brad just knocked the ladder off him. He left him hanging, literally. Man, what a childish idiot. Soon Katie managed to put the ladder back up, which of course. That's when, if Matt asked her if you wanted to go to the Halloween dance, she said yes. So, next night, on Halloween night, Matthew's dressed like a school teacher, like someone from the 1700s would wear. Including Katie as well. But soon Brad dresses a pirate, or football player. Pirate got enough, which of course, oh boy. Like I was saying, of course, Brad dressed like a pirate, which of course, that's why he starts to pick a fight with Matthew, which of course, remember, Matt doesn't know how to fight, and Brad's like this cocky jock. That's when Brad made a bet. Of course, Brad, surrounded by his friends, of course, the macho idiot versus the guy who doesn't want to do anything with this idiot. Obviously, of course, Brad made him a challenge. If he tells about the legend of the Headless Horseman, of course, Which Ian, which is Matthew short, interrupts Brad, claiming that the story is just fake, but Brad making a challenge that if Matthew walks to the bridge and finds the pumpkin without getting scared, which he accepts. So he began the long journey at night, where wandering by himself in the woods, he found the bridge, which of course finds the pumpkin until, oh boy! And guess what? The pumpkins light up with a glow stick. That's actually pretty funny. Out of the distance, he hears. Well, meanwhile, out he hears a weird laugh. Suddenly, the horseman appears, standing across the river with a colored sword. He chases Ian all the way back, and as Ian's screaming and crying, guess who it is? Brad the a-hole. And his friend's laughing. Katie helps him up and checks him out. Brad friends Ian not to mess with him. Then he asks Katie to leave with them. She chooses to stay with Ian because she is fed up with Brad and his bullying antics. So she leaves them alone, warning them that it's Halloween night and the real Hellstorm is out there. Then he claims that Ian definitely doesn't have the guts to stand up to him. Oh boy, I hate these kind of people. These jocks. They think they're all macho, and in reality, they're all small dick with no brains. I'm not joking. That's what they are. Oh boy. Wait, where am I? Oh, I'm far off, am I? But yeah, soon they walk along in the back in the woods where you won't believe it. Guess who they encountered? Ichabod Crane, which is actually pretty funny. Actually, they actually encountered Ichabod Crane. Well, his ghost asking him, good evening, children. Do you know? I'm afraid I'm lost. They say these woods are haunted, you know. Of course, when he asks him, what's your name? Ichabod Crane, the new school teacher. Good evening. That's one question. Ichabod Crane, they turn around, he's gone. And soon, because we know the story where, of course, they pointed the right way instead of the other way where he... Well, you know why Ian agrees to walk. Of course, they arrive at Kay's house after he agreed to take her home. He said he likes to see her again, which they almost kiss, but her porch light is on, so fuck. Being avoided by her parents. They're trying to come on. Soon after, Ian gets back to school where he left his bike, which of course he left his coat. That's when he hears strange noises until Kay appears again. He said, I could just get back on my own. Until she was holding his jacket with his keys, which, remember, he secured his bike, so yeah. Soon we see a silhouette there, which Ian thought it was Brad playing a stupid joke again, which he's getting tired. And he says, okay, Brad, I'm getting tired of your stupid jokes. Your bullshit. You want to fight? We'll fight. What an immature asshole. Soon, when he walks over there, he sees nobody. He looks at the wall, just a silhouette, until you realize, whoop, it's the actual horseman, where he runs, Kay doesn't know what's going on, until she sees the horseman, throws the pumpkin off, remember, no head, and they start running on their bike. Soon, they run into Brad saying, hey, say hello to your twin, pal. Which Brad sees the horseman, and he starts to freak out, saying, he's coming to take my head! Of course, they start running, which they found out that they accidentally helped Ichabod to go to the right way instead of the other way where he's supposed to be chased by the horseman, which, of course, changes the story. Of course, the only way to do that is to cross the bridge, like in the story, which they did, until the horseman appeared out of nowhere to keep chasing them. Soon, they ran to the woods, And the horseman sees chasing him. That's when Kate wants to split up, which is a bad idea. Guess what? Kate splits up, leading the horseman to her, but instead she screams for him to run for the bridge. Ian run. Oh boy. But Kate distracts the horseman between the trees, which the horseman's about to capture her when Ian picks up a pumpkin and he calls out to him to take his. Thinking it works. He tries to throw the pumpkin at the horseman, but nothing happened. He just catched it. Kate screams him for running to the bridge. Ian, of course, runs full speed towards the bridge, which, when he made to the bridge, the horseman turns into flames and bursts away, vanished. Soon, Katie calls for Ian. There's no answer. Then he comes up between the fences, which, of course, he either fell down or jumped over the horse when the horseman came. Kate's rejoiced because the story was set straight. And then out of nowhere, Ichabod shows up saying, "You children should not be here at this hour. They say these woods are haunted, you know." And Ian said, Why you came back?" "Well, I think I just took the wrong road. I think I should go the other direction. That will set things straight. Happy Halloween." Of course, they watch Ichabod as he vanished and taking the other route, which fixes the story of the horseman chasing Ichabod. Which we hear the horseman laugh into the night. Soon after, as Tucker ends the story, Gary stands up and asks all the other three members what they think of the story. That's when the first one to agree was Kiki. Pass on him the shoulder and tells him you'll do. Betty Ann smiles and shakes his hand. Excellent. And Franks tells him, "Just keep it out of my face." Which, of course, is a victory. Which most there respect, and Gary welcomes him to their new group. And they half five each other. Tucker tells Gary to put out the fire as he goes to catch up, leaving with the others. A bit annoyed, Gary puts out the fire and says, "I hope I didn't regret this." And that was the tale of the Midnight Ride, and I call this the weirdest parody of Sleepy Hollow, I tell you what. But yeah, let me know what you think of this. Well, I'm getting carried away. To me, it's like, okay, it's like the same story like The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Like, imagine Ian's like Ichabod Crane, Katie's like Katrina Van Tassel, and Brad Brom Bones, the guy who likes to have everyone to be attracted, except if you remember the story, Katrina's more like an airhead witch girl, while Katie's more intelligent, and she's getting, no wonder she broke up with him. The guy's an idiot Brad, I tell you what. And good decision, too. Which, of course, hey, where is it? Oh, it's right here. Of course, this is like a high school version of Sleepy Hollow. Well, nearly. But yeah, let me know what you think of the tale of the Midnight Ride. Did you seen it when it first came out, or just the reruns? Because hey, remember, this came out in 1994. So, and what date was this? Let me see. January 8th. Huh. Like I said. And this was the first episode of season 3, so yeah. Ugh, damn allergies. But yeah. Let me know what you think of the episode. Did you like it? Did you see the episode? What was your favorite scene? If so, if you liked some parodies based on the famous story of the Legend of the Headless Horseman, hey, who doesn't? But yeah, let me know what you think on the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, so you can see our great content. And remember, our goal is to hit 1 million subscribers by the end of this year. So let's do this, and give a like to this video so we know you care. And until then, see you next time. Peace.